Welcome to another edition of Motivational Sundays with Kevin and Friends. This show was created to take one of the 300 motivational quotes I created for the contents of my books. After studying more than 40 years of human behavior, I was always curious how the same quote landed on me and other people. Are there words that just lay there on the page, or were there a conversation work to be had? So we meet every Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I am joined with my good friends, my co-hosts, Larnez Kinsey, Denise Lopes, Christopher and Gilda James, and our voice of the show, Mr. Otis Spencer. And we talk about these quotes. You know, this space is not designed to make you comfortable, but we want to encourage you. We want to inspire you and educate you and create a framework that will just make you think. The key points to this show are kindness, compassion, love, joy, world relationships, and personal pleasure, and the power of owning your own story. This is an RMK Production and 10 United Podcast Network production. And with that said, I'm going to turn this show over to our voice of the show. He's going to deliver the quote. Matter of fact, Otis brought the quote today. So he's the first and last word of this show today. So, Mr. Otis Spencer, tell
Happy
us.
Grand Rising, everyone.
Grand Rising. How you doing?
Doing great. Well, the quote, I will start out with the quote came from Ovid, or Ovid, as people say online, and he was a poet during the reign of Augustus Caesar. And the quote is, either don't try it at all or make damn sure you succeed.
All right, all right. Either don't try at all, or make damn sure you do
You
succeed.
do, yeah.
Yep. So, Denise Lopes. All right. It's been a long time since you've been our lead off on this show. And look at her. Talking about the fashion maven, dancing all over the world. She is one of our educators pouring into our young people. And they say children are our future, but we all need to sit on that step next to someone much wiser than yourself. And that's what we're going to do right now. So put your feet up, listen to Denise Lopes. How does this quote land on you?
Ugh, this quote is kind of heavy. For me, it hits home because, like I told you guys before, my ESL license, it took me a long time to pass that test. So it was like I had to keep trying and I wanted to succeed. So I'm like, I have to try until I succeed. And sometimes people don't even try, and you need to keep trying, because the one time you don't try is the time you're going to succeed. And sometimes too, you have a dream and people keep telling you, oh, it's not going to work out, it's not going to work out, and you don't try it. So never listen to people. Just try and make sure you're going to succeed. And when you try, you will succeed. And that's what happened to me. I did pass my test. I do have all my license now, so I'm very proud of myself. But if I didn't try at all, I would never succeed. So if it's something like it goes the other way too. If you think you're not going to succeed, do not try. I don't know how would that go, because for me, I like to keep trying. But there's some people that they just stop. And would tell them, do not stop. Just keep trying, because you will succeed. And you talking about the dance, I have a dance performance today. I'm nervous because of my headache. But I think I'll be okay.
Oh,
I'm going to tell you, good luck with the dance. Concentrate more on the dance performance and delivering a great show and the headache will go away.
yeah.
They do say
Thank you.
what you focus most on becomes reality.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
make that dance beautiful, girl. All right.
Thank
Try
you.
again. All right. So with that said, we are celebrating in this country some monumental things. The United States is representing the world. And what better sounding that we hear is from someone that has served this country, even though he does not wear the Olympic gold rings. He does wear, he's the example, the reason why we celebrate many of the freedoms that we have and the liberties that we have. He is our serviceman, he is our brother, he is the husband, he is the father, he's an uncle to many, and he is the word of wisdom to a lot of young people in this community. Ladies and gentlemen, let me welcome to the show Mr. Christopher James.
Grand Rising. And my heart right now, my wishes are going out to the our Olympic team. Um, I grew up thinking that if you could express yourself physically, if you could uh, basically master whoever you have in your arena physically, then you are a champion. Um, I later found out that physicality only goes so far. You really need to use another muscle. But I can remember as a kid, running was everything. I mean, like having the wind blow past my. I had hair at one point. Wind blow past my hair, and just feeling that I could do anything as long as it required me to push myself further. Um, there was a strategy I used to have when I was younger when I ran. Um, Anybody in front of me became my target. All I needed to do was just outdo that person. Just physically beat that person. And I felt that if I could see them, I could overtake them. Um, Later, I realized that sometimes strategy was required where you needed to use other things other than simply physicality. Um, there was one point where the runner, whenever I started to overtake them, they simply ran faster. And we got to a point where I simply could only hope to keep that person within reach and just pace them. And then through the course of the race, that person tired, and I didn't. And it was at that point I was able to pass them. And that strategy has been with me my entire life, my entire naval career. If I could see you, if I could measure what you had as far as potential, what you had as far as physicality, what you had even as far as aptitude, if I could see you and I could measure you, I can beat you. All I need to do is just push myself that much further. The idea of not even attempting just never crossed my mind. The challenge was always there. I'm from a family of 8. Everything is a challenge. Everything is a measure of who gets there first or who wants it more. And so the idea of don't try unless you plan on succeeding. Succeeding was always the only thing that I thought of. So this particular quote is pretty much a blueprint of how I developed, how my mind developed as a child. Everything to me is a challenge, and I don't say every person I see is a person to beat, but every challenge that's presented to me is one that I have to succeed in, and it's never a question. Do I do it? Do I not do it? It's there, so I have to do it. Who was the mountain climber who said, "I climbed that mountain because it was there"? Every opportunity, every challenge I see it as an opportunity to succeed without even thinking about the possibility of failure. One mentor of mine in the Navy said, every challenge should be seen as an opportunity to excel. And that's just the way I've been.
It's amazing that you repeat these words. My late coach, Don Mitchell, he coached for Dayton Roosevelt and Dayton Roth, the 2 high schools I attended in the 70s. He said something similar to that. He said, if you can reach out and touch someone, yes, he said he expected you to beat them.
Yes.
All right. And that's just the way life is. The reason why God gave you arms and legs, put you between the distance between where you want to be and where you need to be. And in order to get to where you want to be and where you need to be, you have to keep reaching. You have to keep stepping towards something. You ever notice we don't walk backwards? Okay. There's a reason why. And what you just shared is the reason why we keep reaching. And for those of you that are listening, and those of you that are familiar with the show, the person that brings the quotes is normally the first person that leads off, and I had to change it because Otis is the voice of the show. So I want to close off, that the crescendo that we have, that last bell, in order to get Otis to share and how it connected. But we have so many very wise people on here. And because I'm a Southern boy, I had to lead off with Denise, okay, because that's the way a gentleman should be. And just remember this: success is not only coming into the tangible things that we have in life, those material things, but success is also the emotional imprint that we do. And those random acts of kindness, opening up a door, doesn't take away from you become considered to be a man. Pulling a chair out and in for a woman doesn't make you less. It doesn't make the world look different of you. Or being kind and courteous, or acknowledging that the female next to you, you acknowledge her feelings. Because if you don't try to acknowledge her feelings, you'll be disappointed when she feels a certain way about you. And that's the way success is. Love rocks the world. So with that said, you know, Larnez Kinsey, all right, our co-host, the voice. I mean, sit back. I will tell you, if you have not ever been in a speed suit, first time, okay, it's tight. Listen to what she says, because she's gonna squeeze you with some knowledge.
Well, first and foremost, grand rising to everyone. Miss you guys.
Yeah.
Denise, sending you healing energy always, now, every day, when I wake up in the morning, when I go to sleep, sending it to you. No one likes to be off balance, and when we don't feel well, we're off balance. The quote now. This speaks to the essence of dedication and the power of intent. In our pursuit of justice, equality, and the betterment of our communities, we must understand that half-hearted efforts will never suffice. When you dedicate and decide to undertake a task, whether it's fighting for social justice, improving your personal life, or striving for academic excellence, you must immerse yourself completely. This means strategizing, planning, and executing with precision and unwavering determination. Do not merely dabble in your efforts. Instead, pour your heart and soul into them. Make sure every action, every step you take is aimed to achieving your goal. This level of commitment is what drives change and creates success. It is this intensity and focus that we must embody in our endeavors. We must be relentless in our pursuits of excellence, ensuring that our actions reflect our dedication to our cause. So I urge you, if you choose to engage in a mission, do so with every ounce of your being. Either don't try it at all or make damn sure you succeed. This is the path to true accomplishment and transformation. And this is how it hit me.
All right. And for those of you at Duck, stand up again, because she's coming again. That's how it hit me. All right. So to our listeners, I hope you're listening. I hope you're paying attention, because I know every single time that we air this show and we release the podcast, we touch someone in a certain type of way. So there's either someone refusing to hear the message or someone that's open to the message. And the gifts that we have here with Christopher, Lonez, Denise, and Otis, Naheem, Anne Marie, Big O and Little O, and all the other many players that come in and out of this show, we dedicate and we commit our time. I'm not going to say we're volunteering our time. We dedicate and commit our time in order to deliver a message to someone that has a conversation that's not being heard, or someone that needs a conversation that needs to be heard. So with that said, I'm going to ask the voice of our show to deliver the quote one more time, and then to give us his take on why he delivered such a powerful quote. I think we needed this today.
Do you want me to give the quote, or do you want Gail to go before me?
Oh, you know something? Otis, you just called me out. I missed it. You know, matter of fact, the Christopher and Gilda always matched so much, and he was holding her so close, like someone was trying to take her away today. I kept looking how pretty her dress is, and I actually forgot how to say it. So Gilda, how's the quote land on you? Thank you, Otis.
You're welcome.
Grand Rising, everyone.
Grand Rising.
The reason why many people fail to succeed in life is because they stop after they fail. And so what I think that you should just try and try until you succeed. That's what
Try until you succeed.
Yeah.
Words are so important. And to make a long story short, the power of these words, less is more. And anytime that Gilda speaks, she always gives us so much more. All right. So Otis, between you and Denise calling me out during the show, all right. I know you guys always have my back. And for those of you, inside joke, we've had I've done 2 shows that I've actually forgot to hit the record button, and we've had such 2 wonderful shows that never got released. And so, I have people that's got my back, and they ain't ashamed to call me out when I make a mistake, and I'm okay with that. And that's something we need to be okay with. I always say that, everyone's so fast to be a critic, but I always say also sometimes the critic is never wrong. So be open to that. So Otis, all right. Is there anyone else I'm missing today?
Oh, do we have to call Kevin? No, Kevin's here.
All right, let's get the quote.
And the quote again: either don't try at all, or make damn sure you succeed. Just listening to everyone, and I have my little thoughts there, but even think back as when you were a child. You didn't know how to walk. You crawled and crawled. You tried to get up and you fell. And then you crawled and tried to get up again, and you fell until you finally succeeded. So it starts at an early age. And my personal thought is people need to learn to commit. If you're asked to do something, don't say, I'll try. If you don't know how to do it, then learn how to do it, because knowledge is powerful. One little task that I had when I did marketing, and even my panel, you sit up in your chair straight, put your both feet down on the ground. Then I want to see you try to lift both feet off the ground. Can you do that?
Yep.
Guess what?
What?
You knew how to do it. You wanted to do it. There's no such thing as try. It's either you're going to do it or you're not going to do it.
All right. So, my little notes here in my share, I might as well shut up. Otis just most people raise the roof. Otis made me take my feet off the ground. I'm sorry. So when I got this quote, a lot, you guys always hear me talk about how I grew up, everything I learned about life. I learned playing high school football. And I love the Olympics. I love the Olympics. My childhood dream was not to play in the NFL, and I love football. But I've always wanted to wear those rings. I went to college to be a Olympic track coach, and lucky for me, I had the honor to coach a couple Olympic athletes that won gold medals, Nancy Hawkheads and Suzanne Walsh. But this quote reminds me of a conversation my grandfather had the day I was leaving to go attend Central State University as a freshman. Met him on the porch as I was carrying out my last little container of what little bit of clothes that I owned at that time. And my grandfather handed me a small clipping of the Dayton Daily News. And that clipping said when I looked down at it, it says can do. He says did is a word of achievement. Word won't is a word of retreat. Might is a word of bereavement. Can't is a word of defeat. Ought is a word of duty. Try is a word of each hour. Will is a word of beauty. Can do is a word of power. And so when Otis, you sent that quote over to me, I started to think about it. I said, in order to succeed, your desire for your dream and your successful life should be greater than the fear of failure or should outlive your short-term fun. Your words are what you think is beauty. Your actions are the words that give you your superpower. So when you say I can do, you just do it. Like you said, I can raise my feet up off the ground. When you say that, you extend your arm and you can touch someone, if you desire to be number one, then you have to remember what it felt like to be uncomfortable being number two.
Yes. Yes.
All right. The only limits we place on ourselves is the limits that we do place on ourselves. There's no limitations. We can talk about the system and 400 years of this and that, and we can sit there and punish people for the behaviors of their ancestors, whatever. But I'm going to tell you, there's so many people like yourself, like Christopher and Gilda, like you, Otis, like Denise, like Juanez, like Naheem, and so many people have been on this panel that have done things that other people won't even attempt to do. And that's because you believe in the beauty of what you can do, and you do it every single day. Try is a word of power. Can do is your power. So, with that said, I will tell you good day, grand rising. One day we'll talk about, I'm going to tell all of you, Google what good morning means, and you'll understand the difference and the reason why grand rising is better than good morning, giving us a second chance. Most people give away their power to people that are struggling with the power they already have. I would say own your own story. Allow you to lead others and stop following people that's trying to take you to a place that you've never been. This show is an RMK production. If you like what you've heard, and I want to thank you first before I ask you to do anything else, because we appreciate you for tuning in. But if you like what you heard, you can find us on our YouTube page at RMK Productions and Network. If you really like it, share it and give it to your friends. Some people may need a little bit of positive affirmation this morning, or as my grandfather said, a good swift kick in the butt. And if you'd like to be on the show, let us know. You can find me on Facebook, Kevin McLemore, and we'll send you the link. And you come in here and give you your 2 cents. But I want to thank everyone for volunteering this time, coming in and sharing this space with us, and giving us and everyone in this world, and we're a global platform, your take on these powerful quotes. And I would love to hear how some of you feel about some of these quotes. So go ahead and enter something in the comment bar. My grandfather always said, when you get to a place in life that you can help someone else, he said, it's your duty to do so. He said, reach one, teach one. And with that said, we
Fade to black.
fade to black. Good night, everyone. See you next time. And to our Olympic team, kick some butt.